Today we've got the Defy Gold 631 and we need to replace this small plate over here, and then also the bottom element needs to be replaced. So I'm going to pull it out and then turn it around and we'll open it up at the back. Before we start working, let's just switch off the isolator. One good way to know if the isolator is actually working is to switch one of the plates on. That's got a little light, so this light goes on, and when I switch the isolator off, the light went off, so we know the isolator is working. To get access to the element inside the oven, we need to remove this cover, and the oven I'm working on today has got these 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. I see there might be some more screw holes somewhere, so maybe somebody missed a couple of screws before. But let's take this one off and see what it looks on the inside. So how did we know we need to replace the element? The power started tripping and then at some point it just stopped working. A visual inspection of the element showed that there was a crack in the element itself, and also it just didn't heat up at all. You can test over these leads if you want to get a certain ohms to see if it's still working or not. So the element slides in from the inside. Now you can see there's 2 screws over there that I left in after I took it out. Let's just remove those 2 screws. Now the element just goes through those 2 holes like that, and then you can put the screws back through there and through there. Okay, now I've got the new element fitted. Just make sure that these little feet at the front is at the bottom, not standing up, so that this element is secure when you push down on it. Let's check in the back. Now in the back we'll see our lux poking through the insulation here, so then you can just take the wires that he took off and then just plug them back in onto the element itself. Doesn't matter which way it is. Yeah, we've got our wires connected back up, so let's test and see. Switch the oven on, wet your finger, there you go, it heats up. Now that we know the element is working, we can put this cover back on. You just put it back on and fasten it with the 4 screws that it came loose with. Okay, now we can go onto the plate. So you just push up this whole part here to get access to the plates, and I just put a hammer or something in here to keep it open. You need to loosen that up to get to the wires. We need to remove this wire and this whole bracket to be able to lift out the plate, lift it out to the top. I would suggest you loosen the plate first, get it out on the outside, and then you can swap the wires one for one so you don't get it confused on which wire goes where. Okay, then just drop it in, and then we can lift up the cover again to get to the bottom. Okay, so let's test this plate. There's a protective film over it, so it might smoke a bit on initial burning. And there we can see the smoke rising up, just burning off that protective layer. While I'm cleaning up, I just quickly want to explain how I knew the plate needed to replace. When I initially went to look at the stove, they told me that the switch has been replaced quite recently. So they are suspecting the plate to be damaged. What I did was I opened the back, looked at the switch, and it still looked nice. I mean, it's all just mechanical switches inside the switch that switches different coils inside the plate on and off. Sometimes in series, sometimes in parallel to get the different heats. So when I opened up the lid, all I did was I tested the problematic plate, and luckily there was another small plate that was exactly the same. So I just measured that one and compared the ohm readings to each other. The one I replaced actually didn't go through at all, so there was somewhere the coils was off completely, while the plate that we knew was working gave me something like 450 ohms between the outermost points and I think 120 in the innermost points. So I could reference that and then compare it to the broken plate, and that's how I knew to replace just the plate. Okay, thanks for watching.